audio in there. Take our word for it.
10 more laps. 10 more laps. 10 more laps. 10 more laps to go. My 66 model has been raring to go. I worked a lot of hours getting her ready to go, fixing up the engine so she won't blow. I'll be a winner, I know. 10 more laps. 10 more laps. 10 more laps. 10 more laps to go. I was running way ahead of all the other cars. I was doing fine and everything was good so far. Track was getting hotter with the melting of the tar. 10 more laps to go. 10 more laps. 10 more laps. 10 more.
Hello. Welcome to Paul's Place. Got a lot to talk about today. Been an interesting couple weeks. It's been fun. We've been everywhere. We got to talk to anybody and everybody, it seems like. Got the Batmobile in another parade. We got the Roadster in another parade. And all in all, from the last time we met till now, the characters change in the program, but the program don't change too much for the characters, I guess. Like Eisenhower once said, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. So we're going to take the fight just a little bit further and talk about some other items on the program today. Introduce the cast of characters we got today. On my left is Steve Ott. Steve is not, what I want to say, he's not a rookie in racing. His dad started out racing when I did, and Steve finished racing. He's retired from racing, and we're working for construction now.
Oh yeah, I'm having a ball.
It's better than working as a mechanic.
Oh yeah, every day's a new day.
Yeah.
New job every day.
Oh, that's good. So we'll get back to Steve a little bit later. Over on my right, we got Jim Lambert. Jim's still teaching school. You're about ready to go back, aren't you?
What'd you have to bring that up for? Yes, August the 21st will be the first day of school for the kids.
Yeah.
And this will be my 39th year teaching in Fort Wayne Community Schools.
Yeah. You retired, what, a couple, 3, 4 years ago?
This is my 5th summer out of racing.
Yeah. I know it. You've been pretty busy this summer. We haven't seen you at breakfast.
No, I keep busy with landscaping. I had 3 pretty good-sized jobs and finished one up yesterday for an old racer, Kalen Setzer.
Oh yeah?
So.
I hadn't heard that name for a while. Cliff, I talked to him just not too recently, but Kalen, I hadn't seen him. Haven't seen him.
He has been around a racetrack in over 5 years, at least at Bearfield in 5 years.
Yeah.
And he's happily married, and they're just bought a new home 5 or 6 years ago, and we ripped out the old landscaping and put in the new, and just finished it up yesterday afternoon for him. So.
Well, that's interesting. Sitting next to Jim is a guy who needs no introduction, a promoter, a driver, and a philosopher, I guess. I can't spell that word, but we're going to use it anyway. Rocky Fisher. Rocky, we've had some good times here the last few days.
Yes, we have. Went with you in the museum over to Defiance, Ohio, to interview Sam Hornish and be present in his welcome home parade celebration. Had the Batmobile over there and the Indy Roadster.
Yeah.
Big turnout.
That was a big parade. Well-organized, big parade.
There was a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think it went real well.
I think so too. Sitting next to you is your grandson, Ryan.
Right.
Ryan, how old are you and what school do you go to?
I'm 13 years old. I go to Northwood Middle School. It's across the street from Bishop Dwenger High School.
Yeah. And you're involved in racing also?
Yeah, I drive a 600 micro sprint in Logansport and gonna run indoors Fort Wayne this year.
Okay, you're 13?
Mm-hmm. You'd have to November.
14. Well, you have to run 11 or 12 years to be up with Sam Hornish and win the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he signed your picture? And
Yeah, he did. He's
And,
talked to us for a while.
it is.
Very
It's.
nice.
It's not a myth. You can do it.
Hope so.
So, anyway, that's a list of actors today, and we'll get our makeup on and we'll get started. I'm going to start with Steve. Steve and I work together, know the family and what have you. Been a while since we've been together where we had to work for a living. But
Yeah, it's been a while, but
one thing we can say, when we worked there, the place ran smoothly. It was a money maker and everything else. That's more than they can say about it now.
that's all I'm going to say about it. No, we had some good times out there.
Yeah.
And
How, you got, of course I know how you got involved with racing. Your dad raced, and then it was naturally the sons come up and drive and everything. But your dad really didn't help you build any of your cars, did he?
no, Dad didn't want anything to. He didn't want us boys getting into it. Actually, when we were young, he had us in go-karts and dirt bikes, and Mom really didn't want to go for that. You know, she didn't want us into it because she went through it with Dad and everything. And you know, I went to the service and came out of the service, and I got hooked up with Art Tulowski.
Well, that was a good one.
Yep. And helped him build. After he retired, he came back and up to LaVilla and helped him build a car, and got into a street stock and tried it a couple times, but Dad never got involved in it. I mean, he came out to watch every once in a while, but no, he kind of helped my brother a little bit there toward the end, but no, I didn't want Dad around.
Art mentioned him, you and him together. First time I met Art Tulowski, I was working at John Ramp, Lincoln Mercury back in '59, and he came in there as a used car mechanic. I think he just moved in from Pennsylvania. He hadn't been in town too long.
Yeah, well, Art, he's quite the guy. He used to take me up to LaVilla and put me on the passenger side of the late model, or limited late model at the time. And I remember one day we was up there before the track opened up, and he's out there hot lapping. He said, "Now just stick your head out the window and see how close to the wall I'm getting, because you can use that in future years." And I said, "Okay." Stuck my head out, you know, and all of a sudden this hot stuff kept hitting me in the side of the face. Reached inside the car, and I told Art, I said, "There's something wrong." I said, "There's something hot coming back in my face." And he said, "Well, you got grease all over you." I said, "Well, it must be a wheel bearing." Well, it was. Thankfully, I mean, it was before the races. We got it fixed, and he went out and did his thing. But that was quite the ride there. I mean, and then with Joe Wallace, he did the same thing with me.
Yeah.
But,
Joe was a nice guy.
Yes, he was. Very nice guy. Between those two, they taught me a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Dad did it first, you know, with the go-karts and the dirt bikes, but after that it was Art Tulowski and Joe Wallace basically brought me up and taught me how to drive.
See, all this got to rub off on Ryan over there.
Because it does.
Ryan's got to learn something today, so whatever.
He's got to start his own little trick bag is what I used to call it. Every night you have to pull a little trick out of that bag and try it. See if it works. If it doesn't, throw it away. If it does, put it back in there. You can use it again.
One of the tricks I only got to use it once, was Clem's Lake in Decatur. And did you ever run that track?
Mm-hmm.
It was what was that, a quarter-mile dirt, I think. And Madman Mankey from Decatur was running down there. We were running the coops then. And I chased him for 24 laps. Well, he was running one, I was running two. Went down the back straightaway, and I don't know what happened, but my foot went down on the clutch, and the engine revved up, and he turned around to see what was coming and ran right off the racetrack. And I won the race, and he was mad at me. He said I hit him, but I never did. Everybody said, no, you know, he did it all by himself. And I don't know, the good Lord must have done it, because I didn't have intelligence to do anything like that.
That's the way we used to do it all the time. There was a couple of times that I'd line up next to my brother on the start of the race, and I'd ask him, I said, well, what do you want to do here? I said, you want to run side by side until the last lap, or what, you know? He said, no, he said, we come to race, let's race. And I said, okay, that's all I need to hear. We come down the backstretch for the green flag, I'd be on the inside or the outside, either one, and I'd sit there and burp the carburetor about 4 or 5 times, and he'd always turn and look, and that was his mistake, you know. Nail it and go. You got to do it. After the race, he said, "You do it again," he said, "I'll get you." And he did one night. He flipped me. He said, "I told you."
Yeah.
Well, I remember one time when you two guys were racing side by side. It was early in the season. And I think you had silver leaf numbers on your car, maybe a number 73 or something like that. And your brother Jerry said the first race, those numbers are coming off because they're going to go put a wheel in your door.
He did, too, didn't
So
he?
that's what happened, exactly.
Yeah. Well, you guys raced together then, back in them. You were racing when he was, or?
No, not really. We did for a couple of years or so.
Right.
And
Toward the
never really against that bare field. I remember racing against you at Angola a couple times.
Right.
But
I didn't.
he started before I did. I was just a spectator when he was.
That's when he had the Corvette.
Yeah. Well, Rocky, he was around through all this.
Rocky's been around for years.
Well, he's been around. You know, the guy that's got Social Security number 4, he's had to be around for quite some
I was
time.
thinking, coming here, that and looking at some of those pictures, that I actually, the first race I drove was 1955.
Yeah.
So that's how long I actually been active. You know, I might have a year where I don't run much or do something else, but still got a car, and the next year you're running again, you know. So been
You're-
at it
yeah.
51 years, you might say.
Your dad raced out of Detroit,
Right.
and
Motor
that's where
City Speedway.
basically that's where you were from.
Right, it is where I'm from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Come
never
down
got
this
to
direction.
Fort Wayne till '62, and ended up here. I think we told the story before. Used to always be 5 or 6 midgets around
Yeah.
car owners in Fort Wayne, and back then a lot of them they didn't drive, and some didn't have regular drivers. They used to go to a racetrack and pick up a guy. So, and I heard about several midgets, and I came to Fort Wayne to drive for one guy, and ended up actually over a period of years driving for all of them. You know.
Yeah. Well, they used to do that at South Anthony when they used to have the midgets in with the, well, when we run the transition there from hard tops to modifieds, the midgets was in about that same
Right.
time. And I know half a dozen guys would bring a midget and start looking for a driver. And they'd come around the pits and want to know if you wanted to drive a midget. And Jack Riley and I both, that's how the only times we ever drove midgets was in something like that, because Wally Polar had a midget. Of course, we was good friends with Wally, but Joe Bear drove that, and Ed Roy drove it. So,
Yep.
that's where I think racing has changed today. Now, a person builds a car and they build it around their driver, and well, you got to
Right. Yeah.
size and everything, whether they're built or they're assembled.
So long as the chemistry's there nowadays, why the driver usually stays with the owner quite a while. You
Yeah.
know? So it's changed. Everything's changed. Cars have changed. Systems changed. The payoffs changed. The cost to get there has changed. You know,
Well,
so,
yeah, it's an altogether different ball game. We seen that Wednesday night
Right.
at Defiance.
Right.
It's amazing in a little town like Defiance. I think everybody in the town was there, and everybody from Archibald and from Montpelier
Napoleon.
and Napoleon, they were all there. Bryan, Ohio, and both sides of the street was lined up 10 deep, and it was an orderly crowd.
Right.
It wasn't disorganized or anything else, and the parade lasted exactly a half hour, and they had quite a few, everything, marching bands and everything
Right.
else in it. It was, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. It was a real good show.
Typical small town atmosphere,
Yeah.
you know, type of thing, you know.
Well, then they ended up at the parade ended up at the mall there, and they had stage set up there, and they had vendor trailers, and they had several thousand people out there. Joey Chitwood, you know, a lot of celebrities were there, and people from the Indianapolis 500 and the IRL, you know. They presented him with what, a marble
Plaque there.
you know, and they're supposed to put one in town there someplace, maybe in front of that bank, I'm not sure, but or in front of the courthouse.
Courthouse there, probably.
So yeah, it was real good. He was real. He was taken by it.
Yeah. Yeah, before the parade and everything, they had the women's club at the medical center had a VIP get together, and we were all invited to that, and we went down and they had finger food, and then everybody could howdy each other and talk to each other, and that's I set up my camera and I got to interview Sam, and that was the first interview, and it went real good. And then we set the camera up out in the garden. We got to interview Sam's wife and another lady we thought might have been Sam's mother. Turned out it wasn't. And the guys from Indianapolis. It was. I'll have it on my other show. I got a good hour of that when I edit it. It'll come out pretty good.
And we all got our picture taken with the Borg Warner trophy. They brought that down.
Yeah.
So that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
I was mad at myself for not having a picture of my head with some stickum on the back so I could put it on the trophy with the rest of the winners, but I didn't have it with me.
The trophy's not that big.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's pretty good size.
The original.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not
For my head, you mean? Oh yeah, there's room down there. There's a spot about that big.
Ryan, you haven't said much. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask Jim a question. You still got the Corvette that you ever started out with?
That was a 1979 Corvette, and I did spectator racing for 3.5 years with that, and was only beat one time. That was by a drag car. Somebody out of Bluffton, Al Grog. And I sold that, and I wish I had it back.
I just wondered if...
But that's what got me going in racing as a driver. It just it just created a monster out of me. So, you know, 'cause
I remember that.
I raced 3 times a week thereafter, you know, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so I did that for almost 20 years.
But that's what got you started right there. I remember that so well. I kept thinking, who is that guy with that brand new Corvette out there?
I think I'd probably still be racing if it wasn't for my insurance man being in a crowd that one night. He said, I think you better stop that.
Yeah. We were racing out the big track years and years ago, and there was a new Dodge in the race out there, and the guy from Lincoln Bank came down in the pits afterwards, and he says, if I got the paper on this car, and the guy that owned it said, yep.
You guys don't know, but you're into racing.
Yeah. But, you know, things like that happened back in them days. You know, when I was flagging, I think it was Bearfield. Might have been South Anthony, I don't know, but Norb Koskoff had K&K insurance, and he had the insurance on those. Had to be Bearfield because Norb was still racing. And anyway, I was standing down on a 6-lap dash trying to keep the guys from jumping each other, and I said, I'm going to stand in the middle of the track and throw the green flag, and you guys better not run over me. And the first time they came down through there, it shocked them, and they didn't believe me. But I'm standing out there, and I throw the green flag, and they don't take off. And they go one more lap, and I went back over to the podium, and Norb Koskoff says, come here. I got up there. He says, Paul, he says, up here. He says, I got the insurance on this paper. So I'm standing up there, and I give them the green flag, and they got together, and they upset a car right where I would have been standing down there on the track. Koskoff never let me forget that. But, that was in Bearfield.
Or you was going to ask?
Yeah, Ryan, how much racing experience have you got now?
A grand total of 11 races.
11 races, yeah.
All last season.
Okay, yeah. You got a picture of your car?
Yeah, it's
Frames.
There. You can hold them up, and Alton, I think, can get a picture of them. That's a pretty wicked machine.
When we went to Ohio yesterday, we had Sam Hornish Jr. sign them up there at the top of the picture.
Yeah.
This is the race. This picture is from a race where I set fast time that night.
Okay, what's the other picture?
And the other picture's just, I think it's qualifying.
Yeah.
This one's from earlier on.
That's you say that's a 600? That's got a...
Yeah, 600cc motorcycle engine.
Yamaha?
Last year it was a Honda. This year it's going to be a Yamaha.
Yeah. I noticed from being out at the track last December, there was a lot of Yamahas out there in that
Well,
one.
That's why we're going to the Yamaha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're considered the fastest. They're considered quicker than Hondas.
Yeah. Honda's the hottest thing in IRL. That's the only
Right.
motor you can run.
Well, they
Yeah,
have to
but-
give us one.
Yeah. With Toyota going to NASCAR, they dropped out of IRL.
Yeah.
That's
Well, we've got 11 races in, and this season, well, it's your sophomore season, so
Yeah.
if it's a little bit off, you know,
Yeah.
that's that happens. And then it's in your third year that you really get to rock it.
I hope so.
And you get a sponsor, and
Yeah.
so when you blow that engine, you got 2 more sitting on the shelf.
We've got a few sponsors this year, just
Yeah.
well from last year that kind of carry over this year, hopefully. So,
You put out a newspaper also, don't you?
yeah, I did, but now that we haven't been running lately, it's kind of been stopped production for now until we start getting going again.
Well,
The
Does your
Nawrocki
grandpa help
season.
you quite a bit?
Not with the newspaper, but
Well, I
with
mean,
the
as far as racing
with the
goes.
racing. Yeah, he's the chief mechanic, crew chief, everything.
Hmm.
I'm just the driver. He's everything
Well,
else.
since you switch motors, do you ever think about switching?
No.
Okay, you're going to keep grandpa on that.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't trust anyone else with my car.
There you
well,
go, buddy.
he's the only one that's got the keys to the truck that pulls the trailer to get you to the track.
Well, his mother has the keys for that.
Well-
We'll get him going. He come along. He never was on dirt before, or never been in this kind of a car, you know. And we never got started till mid-season last year,
Yeah.
and ended up 18th in points. And like I say, that, or like he said, about halfway through that, he shocked everybody with a quick time, you know. So
That's good.
There's usually about 24 cars showing up each week. This year there's about 29. There's so many that they're doing B mains now.
Oh, yeah?
on any given night, they run about 4 different classes.
Yeah.
They'll have 100 cars there. It's a real good show.
Yeah, they put on a very exciting show for the fans. It's a shame that more people don't come to those. They're really good.
Well, I kind of think the high price of gasoline is bringing the
Oh,
crowd down.
That's what's hurting us too, not being able to go out. It's cost so much to drive to Logansport,
Yeah,
only getting about 9 miles a gallon with that truck.
yeah.
It costs so much money. You can't make it back. You know, going.
Well, your granddad made his money racing. He's just living off of it, the interest off of it. He's invested that pretty smartly, and that's what I did. All the money I made at Clem's Lake, I invested wisely, and I live a pretty comfortable life now in the interest. You believe that now, don't you? You've been to Clem's Lake. You know what kind of purses those were.
Bag of hot dogs, dog
Well,
food, and
I still have a sprint car, and I'm going to get that ready to run before this season's over with.
Yeah.
And my major sponsor is Social Security. I wait for that check every month so I can spend a little more on a race car. But once I get all that money in, then we'll be racing again.
I hope you're not waiting on yours. You're still working for a living.
I'm still working.
You're the only guy here that's... No, he
I'm
teaches
still working.
school. He don't work.
All the time in, yeah.
I don't know. Of all the jobs that you could have, of all the occupations in the world, school teaching has got to be the most trying job.
Well, it's a lot of work, but after 38 or 39 years, you pick and choose your own battles, so to speak. But there's lots of good kids there willing to learn and spend the time with, you know.
Yeah.
And there's other kids that it's not the place to be. They would rather be someplace else and make it hard for everybody else around them. So,
Yeah.
but I still enjoy the teaching, and I still got kids going to Ball State and architectural, and go down and visit them quite a bit. And so
What classes you teach?
I teach woods and drafting at Wayne High School.
Yeah.
And the drafting classes are all the computerized
Okay.
AutoCAD classes, and so.
Mike Hendricks, he come along with us now. He was with us the other night. He's came on with the museum and with the racing museum. He teaches down at
At the Career Center.
Career Center.
Yeah, in the automotive part.
Yeah.
Yes. After he retired from his gas station business there at Lower Huntington and Winchester Road, he was a substitute teacher. A lot of the the equipment that Fort Wayne Community Schools bought was from him.
Yeah.
And when he sold out, and then he was a substitute teacher, I think, for one semester. Then they hired him full time, and he's been going strong.
Yeah.
The last 10, 12 years or something. So.
Yeah, he really likes it down there.
Yes, he does.
We are going to take a couple of the vehicles we got in the museum down there. One of them's that Roadster. Get the front end lined on it. I don't know if you noticed that, Rocky, but that Roadster does not have a wheel weight on any four wheels.
No. Well, they usually didn't put very many on those mag wheels, but you can put them on. They have stick-on weights that go on those. But I think the biggest thing, when you say the bushing was out of the...
Yeah, the left front.
Out of the
bushing's out of the kingpin on the left front. And that's what causes the vibration.
Yeah.
You get that thing up to 150 mile an hour in that left front wheel that gets to wobbling. No, there's no shoulder harness in that car.
Go for it.
Well, I don't know what we got to discuss on racing outside of the changes that's in there. When you guys ran Bearfield and Avila and Angola, racing was altogether different, I think, than what we're seeing it today. And I think we're seeing a change today in what's going on. The economy of the country dictates a lot of what you see on the racetrack, and the economy of the country right now, I think, is sort of depressed. I don't know. What's your version on it?
Well, I haven't been back at the racetrack for probably 7, 8, maybe 9 years.
Yeah.
Jim has been. Back when we were racing, you know, Larry Heine was my car owner, and we did everything ourselves, you know, between the two of us. I kept the body going, he kept the chassis and the engine going until, you know, Bill Mitchell bought the outfit from us. And I drove for him. Of course, that was a different ballpark there. But before that, you know, I mean, Larry lived up in Albion, lived out on Baseline Road. He had a little shack out back that we built the cars in, and a wood burner in there. And, you know, we just spent the weekends. That's what kept me off the streets, you know. Just do your thing. And basically, Jim started the same way.
Yeah.
If I remember right, I mean, you know, you built most of your first car, in your own garage at that time, didn't you?
Yeah, Craig Strock built the chassis, you know, and the roll cage and stuff. But my brother Don and I maintained the car for, you know, X number of years. And the minor repairs we could do, but the major stuff we had to have somebody come in. But
You mentioned Greg, his dad, Keith.
Keith Strock.
Yeah, he's up to the museum.
Yes.
Does tours and
Yeah,
up
he
there.
still lives there in Garrett.
Yeah. He gave me a whole box of hats here a week or so back, of racing hats that he's accumulated through the years.
All right.
We got them in a display up there. Greg, I haven't seen
Craig,
him.
yeah.
I seen him.
He's with Tommy Beasley.
Yeah,
And Tommy
that's-
Beasley
yeah.
Sr. They're racing at Gas City.
Yeah.
They were track champions in the modified class last year, and then the year before he was Rookie of the Year. And then this year he started out, won 2 or 3 features in a row, then his luck changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he had to, one of the features I was down to see, or one of the races, he had to go as a provisional. And
Oh yeah.
so a little tough luck there. But,
We went down there and got rained out here about a month, 6 weeks ago. Yeah, in fact, every time I get together with Mike and Lenny, we went to Eldora and got rained on. And then last Wednesday night we got rained on at the parade.
Yeah.
But I mean, nowadays, they still working on their own cars, though, Jim? I mean, or is there a group of...
yeah, it's basically the same. You know, all we had was trailers. You know, now they're all, most of them got enclosed trailers. You know, and
I've noticed that Beasley's got an enclosed trailer.
yes, he does. Yeah,
We stayed in
and they
that.
pull it with a motorhome too. But
Yeah. And
but Tommy Jr. works for his dad, and then they've
Yeah.
got a son-in-law that works in there too, and it's out of their own garage there in Churubusco, or just west of Churubusco.
yeah, right there in 205. I've stopped there a
Yeah,
couple times
yeah.
and talked to him.
And
Yeah. I've had them on all of them on
yes,
the program here.
I remember that
program.
show.
And I wanted to get back and talk to Tom Sr. again. He's got some stuff he wanted to put in the museum. And We haven't.
Well, he's a talker. He'll talk your leg off, you know.
You can't.
Tommy Jr. is a little laid back. Then Craig, he doesn't say much, but the old man, he'll talk your leg off.
Yes, he will. You stop
Some stories he tells, you don't know whether they're true or not.
Well,
Typical racer sometimes, you know.
There you go.
You would take a regular race driver. He's not like a fisherman. He won't stretch the truth or anything. You know, it's some of these guys that go fishing and come back and tell you, you know, about something like that. I can tell you the last fish I caught, I was that far from the pier when I pulled in on him.
And I just missed that checker flag in front of that guy by that much.
Well, usually when you're bench racing, you get them squirreled around to the guy that did win the race, spun out on a curve just before you got there.
That's right.
You picking up on this, Ryan? You got to take notes on this so you have something to.
Mental notes.
There you go.
Rocky, you haven't said too much.
Which is a switch.
When you're around professionals like I am here, you don't get a chance to say much, you know, when you're just still learning.
Right.
Like I said, I never start racing till 55, so.
What, till you turn 55? Or?
Yeah, I did that too. That was a resurgence.
55 is the speed limit.
Right.
I appreciate the young ones too, you know.
Right. Well, I brought a couple pictures there along from when I started racing, really. You want to look at the picture and my dad, just to show that he straightened me out. I said, we had your mother on her, we'd have 3 generations, and no, 4 generations.
4 generations.
And I don't know, I lost myself on that one.
Yeah, you just messed it up.
Anyway, he straightened me out. He said it wouldn't be 4 generations unless Mom was driving. So, anyway, here's when I started racing. That'd be about 1938. I was a little heavier than I am now.
I noticed you fill that seat pretty good.
Oh yeah.
The brake, you don't have your hand on the brake.
I threw the shoulder harness off. It wasn't long enough, so. And this is a picture of my dad back about 1937 or 38.
Yeah.
Motor City Speedway in Detroit.
Did he always turn the cars upside down like that to work on the bottoms? You didn't have a hoist or anything?
Sometimes they did, but this one, they weren't working on it. So, anyway, that's, we've been around a little while. This one here, you're not going to be able to read it, but this is probably my favorite race that I won at Lima. And if you could read that little clipping there, we ran 30 laps with Rick Ferkel second and Bubby Jones third. And that was, when this race was over, I looked over where our tow car, because we used to pit in the infield, my wife was standing there crying. I said, what are you crying about? She said, you didn't have to sit up in a grandstand and watch that. And Ferkel's right front was here the whole race, and Bubby's was here the whole race. You know, I could see him on the front line. They ran away for 30 laps. This is a picture of, the reason I brought this is where we at. Okay, the little guy there, that's Ryan's mother, April. She don't look the same anymore.
Who's the heavy-set guy in the drive?
Heavy-set guy would be Ryan's grandpa. And the other one is my oldest daughter, Sally. And this trophy is the Labor Day Classic at Warsaw. We also won the point championship that year in '75.
You must have made a lot of money in them days.
Oh, yeah.
You ate good.
Oh, yeah. Here's probably one of my bigger wins in the modified, and one at Bryan. I think we made $200 that day, maybe. But we ran good in that car, and we also won the Villa point championship with that car. So that's about it. And here's one that I had Sam sign. This was probably the last feature that I've won. That is up at Crystal, Michigan, in at the dealer's choice. And I don't know if that's 98 or 99, but that's Sam Hornish's signature on the wing. And getting back to a midget, that's 62. midget that I won the CSRA midget championship with. It's a Studebaker.
That's similar to the one we got up in the
Yeah,
museum.
that's Curtis Craft. That's Gifford.
Yeah.
Gifford's car, rather. And that's about it. I mean, I got a lot more, but nobody's interested in that. Someday we'll look at a conglomerate of pictures. We'll need a big blast-in thing here.
I don't know. You've had a good career and exposure to racing.
Oh yeah.
Besides driving and
Yeah.
promoting.
Well, I did. As far as driving goes, I made a living for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, before I actually start. Family really got in the way of that. Not in the way, but I mean, I started devoting more time to my family than. You know, I was in and around Indianapolis in the Indy cars and working on crews and had chances for better USAC rides or crews, get on better crews, but it involved being away from home. You know, I worked at the Speedway on Ronnie Duman's car. I was there for a month, and your wife and kids were back in Fort Wayne, you know, and then I see all the guys down there that got a new gal on their arm every week. You know, I thought you were married. Well, I was for 12 years, but she didn't put up with us no longer, so I decided I better take care of home and race whenever I could. And my wife and family, when we were those 10 years making a living, she never missed a race, and the kids were with her, and she took care of them, and in the grandstands, you know. They didn't run wild, and if she was here, she'll tell you, Randy, you know, my stepson Randy Stillwell, and
Yes, sir.
Sally, that's before April was born. We'd be at Eldora, and they say, Mom, we need to can we get a hot dog or a Coke? And she said, let's wait and see if Dad wins the heat race or not, because we used to pay heats back then. We had enough money to get home on, say. She said, if he wins the heat race, you can each get a hot dog and split a Coke. And that's the way it went, you know. But we did well, you know, we got by.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up, I think, counting the midget championship and the modified championship, I got 7 championships. The other 5 were sprint cars, including Eldora. And the one I wanted at Eldora was kind of a tough one because it's Eldora Enterprises, and you had to score high at New Bremen, Eldora, and Dayton. He had all 3 tracks. So, but most of it was the points were accumulated at Eldora. So.
Well, when I was running stock cars over there for Maury DeGrice, he pickled the Bremen track. That's when you was running for Earl Boggs. And I don't know, Lima Land. I don't know if you remember one night at Lima Land, I was a flagman over there, and you were driving a small block Chevy. It had water problems. You were sitting outside pole, and I tried to start that race twice, and you blotched it. And the third time you guys come around there, I went with a green flag, and they about run over you. And then
I don't remember that one.
you come over and talk to me after the race about it. You weren't happy.
Did I call you any names or anything?
Well, no, we had a rapport. I don't know. It was at Lima Land. I had Billy Cunningham with me. That we had the problem where I red flagged the race and handed the flags to the owner and said, "I'm done."
Yeah.
And that was getting out of
most of the time, well, we ran well at Lima. I won 2 championships, 70 and 72.
Yeah.
And that was between that and Eldora were my home track. So not very many times we went there we didn't run good.
Eldora was a good track.
I got burned up there.
Yeah.
It wasn't that nice. But.
I don't know how you ran Dayton then.
Yeah.
You're one of the.
Oh yeah.
That was a nice. That was a nice half mile.
Well, it wasn't when I ran there. It got like the big track here. It's rough.
Yeah.
You know,
well, it was all them tracks were rough.
But
except Winchester.
Yeah.
Winchester was.
Well, it got rough too before they paved it.
A lot of the history it's in this book that I keep bringing up. This is a book that Merkler has put out. Howie Merkler, about his dad. It's the old Merkler machine shop. And this is that old Hisso 404 that Merkler had. There's a ton of information in this book. A wealth of statistics and everything. They've spent a lot of time research and everything, but one of the things that is in that book, and that everybody thought that Funk built the big track out here. Funk promoted the big track, but a guy by the name of Diener, John Diener, built the racetrack. And then, but Funk did have the deal with Winchester and with Germantown, Dayton. And he also built that track in Huntington. And was it you was asking me where that track's at, or coming back Sunday or Wednesday?
Lanny, wasn't it?
Lanny. I'm gonna have to take him down there, because we went down to his daughter's house, picked that trailer up a couple of weeks ago, and we weren't too far from that racetrack. Because if we'd have just went one more mile by the tank farm there and turned left, we'd have been right there at it. But,
well, the only one I remember from down there was Andrews. We ran a midget race there years ago, and they had to red flag it because the hogs come across the backstretch. So it was right in the guy's farm field. I think we ran one more race and then we never went back there. So.
I remember.
If you go down 24, as you leave, well, I don't know if you can see it anymore, but it used to be before they put that bypass in.
Yeah.
You could see the concrete wall there at
Yeah.
Andrews. It looked like only about a 1/5 mile. They call it a quarter, but it was pretty short.
You had the old highway, you could see it. The new highway, you can't.
Yeah, that's right.
I've heard a lot of excuses stopping races, but there were rabbits run across the track and dogs.
The midget would have hit one of them hogs themselves that had out there. There would have been nothing to pick up with the driver or the midget, I don't think. Yeah.
Well, Jim, you brought some pictures of your cars too, didn't you?
Yeah. Jim's got.
I was going to say, and I know there's some championships, track championships that he's won.
We see that.
Now you talk about a guy that's made a lot of money racing or made money in school teaching. He don't even have to cash his point check, see?
No. This was, we talked about the spectator racing, and this is that 79 Corvette that we raced at Bearfield and Avila and Angola. They didn't run every week, but once a month or twice a month or something like that. And, the next one was is the last car I raced at Bearfield, 86 Monte Carlo.
Good looking car.
Thank you.
Kept that pretty clean.
All the cars we tried to keep up pretty much.
His cars are always clean.
This was another car we run. It was a kind of a backup car to this 33. We put a Earnhardt number 3 on it. It happened to be 2001, and that's when he passed away in February. So that summer we just chose that 3 as a number. And this one was the red and black one, but the Fort Wayne Comets sponsored it for 4 or 5 years, Comet Quarters, and we had to paint it that A.J. Foyt Coyote Orange. Well, anyways, it was run at the end of the year. We had a sprint car wig on it, and it was called the Halloween Challenge at Bearfield and Avila. And they had just one rule: either run a 2-barrel class or 4-barrel class, and you could do whatever you wanted to it. And I borrowed a sprint car wing from Sam Davis up there at Bourbon, and gosh, like 2 seconds faster than I've ever been at Bearfield between the sprint car wing and the headers and soft tires and things like that.
Yeah.
So, but very fortunate to win 13 track championships over the years, and 9 at Bearfield and 3 at Avila and 1 at Steuben County, which is Angola.
Angola
Speedway
today,
now. So, but it's a lot of time and effort, a lot of hard work, as everyone can attest to here. You know, it's complete dedication, and I'm very fortunate my wife was involved in it too. You know, and she never missed a race. So.
Yeah, that was one thing that was fun about racing back then. It seemed like the whole family was involved. I know when I was racing, my wife and kids were, but we were always on a hot dog expense, like Rocky was saying. And when I'd blow an engine or something like that, we'd be down, not just for overnight, we'd be down for a month. till we could regroup finances to put another motor back together or something like that. And that's where I got into flagging and things like that. I'd be at the racetrack and somebody said, well, why don't you pick up them flags and make use of them? So that's what I'd do. And then my wife would get on me, she said, well, that's income every night. Why don't you just stay with that? And
Well, you make $1 million in racing, but you spent $2 million to get there, you know. So.
right. But you've had a successful tour of the racetracks.
We still go to a lot of the racetracks on the weekends. Like this weekend, we're going to be at Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go to New Paris on Saturday and go to Plymouth on Sunday because they got a big street stock feature over there. We're going to take the camper, you know, and just...
I heard they opened Plymouth back up again.
Yes, he's doing a nice job, Bob Blunt, and a guy out of Chicago by the name of Tom Smith, I believe, is one that's spending the money. But they have not resurfaced the whole track. They've fixed it and added new stands and got everything all painted up real nice and really promoting. They've had a good car count up there, too, so...
You promoted a race up there. I flagged it for you.
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah.
Sprint car race. But it's come along. It really went downhill with
After Tomish.
variety of promoters, and I'm hearing everything's good about Bobby Blunt and Tom Smith. And in reading some of the writers' results and their stories about the tractor getting people to, getting good crowds. So that's good to hear.
2 Sundays ago, Barb and I was up to a super late race and paid $10,000 to win, and they had 34 cars.
At Plymouth?
And at Plymouth. And now Bob Blunt drives a super late, but he was smart enough not to drive his own car at his own promotion. So, but he was quite busy because they had some controversy. But by lap 46, half the cars were gone because of being too hot that day, and also they tore up some cars.
Yeah.
So, but it was a good show.
Yeah, I haven't been to Plymouth, I know, in a good 10 years. I know they were running, I know they keep... Last week on the show, I had Jim Nussbaum sitting where you were at, and Jim brought up a good idea that we need to get a newspaper out to keep track of everything that's going on, the tracks that's in operation and things like that, because
Jim needed that newspaper years ago, so he could keep track of what was going on.
well, we brought
Jim's
up,
good old boy.
we brought up about the health of some of the drivers. I brought up about Moose. I don't know, a lot of people didn't know Moose was under the weather, and he'd spent some time at the Cleveland Clinic, and then he just spent about 3 weeks out here at the Lutheran Hospital, and he's home now, and he's regrouping. And Bob Kohlmeier's home now. They've had to change his medical, and he's regrouping. So there's 2 guys that's a little bit under the weather that we used to crowd into the infield or crowd into the fence. And but Moose takes everything with a smile.
He always has.
The older you get, it's just like it's more body maintenance than anything, you know, and
well,
you don't get over things so quick.
No. It's a golden years, as everybody says, the golden years.
Titanium.
Well, it is golden years. It takes a lot of gold to live in these years, and it's not for sissies, I'll tell you.
Well, I hope I don't ever get old then.
There are aches and pains. A guy who I used to work construction, his nickname was Rhubarb, because I don't know, I guess he ate it or liked it or something, but Rhubarb always told us that you guys get at my age, he was about 50 then, and we were about 25 or 30. He says, you get my age, he says, every one of them broken bones and them scars, he says, they're going to come back and haunt you. Well, he wasn't lying. ever knee injury or ever hip injury or something like that you had somewhere along the line, it comes back and lets you know that it's still not healed. And I know my wife keeps bringing it up, you know, something that she's getting up in the aches and pains, and I said, well, that's old age. But,
well, it's racer's rheumatism too, you know.
Yeah, that'll do it. So, Jack Riley's another one. He got a little battle with his vocal cords. I don't know. Some days he can't hardly talk. not audible, but he's doing okay. I talked to everybody. It seems like within a 2-week period, they all check in with me, or the people. Was like over there at the fair, and then yesterday up at Maxton Motors. A.J. Foyt was in town yesterday, and a guy by the name of Carl Muscatton that used to own auto auction out east of town has purchased Maxton Motors, and he had AJ, and AJ was flying up to MIS for the weekend, so he landed at Auburn there.
Oh, Auburn.
He landed in Auburn Airport, and they went over and he signed autographs for 2 hours, from 2 to 4 there at the dealership, and then got back in his airplane and flew on up to MIS. And anyway, the people that watch this program go to things like that. There was some people up there, we were talking about the program, what was going on. Same way it's over at Defiance, or some of them was over there and seen the program. But Miss Cotton has got the GM dealership in Maxton now. AJ, according to Speed Sport News, had a new knee or something put in. And
I'm not sure if it was a knee or a hip. I don't know. I remember reading something, but I don't remember. You didn't ask him?
No, he was in a good mood, and I was going to leave him that way. I was kidding him about last time I really got to kidding him was when he was driving Jack Bowser's car down in Daytona, and he was having problems that day. He ended up sticking in second gear and ran it till the engine let go. But no, he autographed a picture and autographed a book I took up there for him. I was explaining to him we had his old Coyote in up there, the last one that he built or had built at Sheridan, and we had it on display, and then they had it in this spring auction, but it didn't bring what the guy wanted. So, well, you had it down your, it was in that
down at the
swap meet there in January.
Right.
It was right down the aisle from where you were.
Right.
That's where we went down and talked to him and persuaded him to bring it up there and have it in the museum for display. But it didn't bring what he wanted, so it went back to Indy. And,
it's in the Vintage Oval Track magazine picture.
Of it?
And for sale, $165,000 is what they're asking for it.
Yeah, I think he got around 150 up there at the auction, but he didn't let go of it. But AJ would never fit in that seat today.
Yeah.
You could.
It'll probably be up to MIS this weekend.
It could be.
Yeah. Because they have a Indy 500 and Vintage Oval Track Association, and they usually go up there for about 3 days, bring a bunch of old cars up, and they actually run them on the big track.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah. That was one of the reasons I think that he didn't sell the car, is he wanted to run it this spring somewhere. I think they had it in Indianapolis. Don't they have, before the 500 they have it? I think he wanted to run it there, and that was part of the provision. If whoever bought the car, he was going to drive it at that race. It didn't happen. But one of the things that I find trying to put this stuff in the museum together, that once the car was done, you're done racing and that, nobody ever kept any around. They either got cut up or sawed up or crushed or what have you. Trying to find some of the old timers is a little bit difficult. We've been pretty lucky. We got an old Chevy coupe up there, and we've got a midget. And I think there's a 68 Oldsmobile floating around that they run that in, I don't know, that would have been the late model class. Trying to find some of the old coupes or things like that. It's just
hard to come by anymore.
Yeah. That and the old sprint cars, old modifieds. Remember all the old modifieds? Everybody said after they were used, they weren't worth anything to anybody. And
just cut them up.
There used to be one in a side yard there at South Bend that when I worked up there a good 30 years ago, it sat up there for years. I wish now we had it.
Yeah.
Have put it in there. Well, Ryan, you're quiet over there. Have you learned anything today?
Yeah.
You gotta learn to take notes on this stuff and do it like homework. So whenever you get mixed up with your crowd, you know, you guys are only 13. You're quite a bit younger than we are.
Well, good luck to you, bud.
Yeah,
I'll
best
study
of
the
luck.
tapes.
When the only thing I ask is when you win the 500, you gonna leave us come in there on the celebration and everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys could have one of the first interviews.
I'm going to hold that. I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah.
Okay? But with the crew you got behind you and the experience that your grandfather's got,
Yeah, it should be
you got
untouchable.
a good future ahead of you. Okay?
Yep.
I'm telling you, because I've
Thank
known
you.
your grandpa and Randy for a long time. That's a good group.
I've always said that if I could have half the career he had, that I would consider my career a success.
There you
can
go,
have
buddy.
more. You're young enough. You're getting us started
Getting an early start.
earlier
Got a
than
good
I
head
did,
on his
so.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Randy, his uncle Randy, has helped quite a bit
Yeah.
to
he
get
has.
this car going initially. So he's been a big help. He used to go with us last year quite a bit. He keeps asking about this year, and we just haven't made it yet. But once we start
It'll-
going, he'll be there.
It'll come back around.
Another driver that's really helped us out is Denny England.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
out at the track, Denny's not driving. I
No.
said
No,
something to you. He
He retired.
sold out or something.
He
Yeah.
retired a couple of years
His car was there.
from what I
Okay.
heard.
A.J. Lane was the guy that bought it out of Michigan. He's just kind of backing off a little bit right now. Said he's not.
Did he get married?
No.
Denny England?
No. He would drive if somebody wants to put the money into it or, you know, fund a car for him. But he wants to retire at an early age, like 55 or so. And he said he doesn't have enough money to do that yet. He's just not going to put no more money into it. But he would drive if he could get a substantial sponsor, you know. So that's where he's at. But he, this winter, put all new bumpers and Nerf bars and stuff on Ryan's car.
Well, good.
Free gratis, just to help him get going.
Big help.
Well, with friends like that, you
Yeah.
got a future, buddy.
Well, like I say about this program, it's a lot faster than sometimes I qualified. We just got started, and we're down in the last 60 seconds. A lot of times when I qualified a car, they didn't use a stopwatch, they used a calendar.
Well, yeah, that or a sundial.
Some of the cars I was in, you'd had to stumble getting out of them to hurt yourself. But this program, it just seems like you get started and what you're talking about and what's interesting and everything, and somebody holds up a sign and says, well, you're in the last 60 seconds, and then we're going to pull the plug on this, and we'll do something else. So I want to thank everybody for showing up today. It's,
Thanks for the
I know
invitation.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
It takes out of your time to come up and talk, and Rocky was kidding me on the way home the other night that I'd missed his Christmas present. So when the program's over today, I'd brought Rocky's Christmas present, and I'll give it to him.
I can
And,
hardly wait.
I didn't want to put it on TV, but he will get his Christmas present, and we'll make sure.
What brought that up was on the way home, he said that he does a lot of shopping, buys a lot of Christmas presents, and I said, I don't remember getting one.
I've got them, so anyway, I guess they're circling their hands. It's all over. I've been thankful that we can put the program on. I hope that anybody watching that they enjoy it as much as we enjoy putting it on. So we're down to where we're going to hear the music and 10 more laps. Of course, we haven't heard that yet. But
I took out all the old parts and made it like new. Then I got her started and she ran like new. When the flag was lowered, I knew what to do. 21 spinouts left, but only a few. My engine started heating and I thought I was through. 10 more laps to go. 10 more laps. 10 more laps. 10 more laps. 10 more laps to go. 10 more laps. 10 more laps.
And we are out of here. Good job, everybody. Well done.